Welcome to J is for Justice podcast. If live breaking news and following true crime is your thing, then please consider subscribing to my channel. And if you like what you see in my videos, please consider giving them a thumbs up. Hey everyone, good morning. Good Sunday morning to you. It is Sunday, July 14th, and I am coming at you live from Studio J in Clearwater, Florida. Let us know in the chat where you are coming from. Good morning, good morning. Welcome in, clickers, and thank you for being here, moderators. We've got a lot of craziness going on, guys. What about Trump? Trump almost being assassinated last night. What is going on? What is going on? So they identified the shooter finally as a 20-year-old. I can't remember his name, but I saw his picture and he's like a little squirrely dude. Lansing, hello in the mitten. Hello in the mitten. Everybody coming from the mitten. Sweden. I love it, Mr. Rosebud. Ontario, Canada. We got a lot of Canucks. It's so crazy, you guys, because all those buildings surrounding that area, those people were all sitting ducks. They were all sitting ducks. Yep, back to Watts, back to Watts. Hello, Ireland, Thomas. Hello in Ireland. Yeah, I don't get it either. They said it was out of their, it was out of their perimeter. Sorry, I was looking for the right word. They said that the building was out of the perimeter. So I've been to 3 Trump rallies in my life with my oldest son. And I sat there watching this last night like, holy shit, that could have been us at one point. Because those rallies are usually held outside if they can be. Like, he came to Romeo, Michigan, my hometown. And they were at a soccer field outside. Talk about sitting ducks. I literally, when I went to these Trump rallies, I felt like, damn, they must have, security for a mile. You know what I mean? You would think. What was their perimeter? Exactly. The dude was like 150 feet away from these men that saw him. I mean, he was out there in the open like freaking JFK in the damn convertible. It's like we finally got the word on JFK, right? They finally unseal all the documents. And then we've got another conspiracy, right? They're saying that the Biden administration wouldn't give them a budget to have more security. Bullshit. I don't know about that. I don't follow all of that. But Trump has enough money that if he knew there was a security risk and they weren't covering him, he would have covered himself, right? Angie B had a friend and her husband at the rally. They were scared shirtless. They are okay though. Butler is only an hour from us. Wow. He says he's still going to the convention. He says he's still planning on going. Yeah, it was crazy. I call BS on the perimeter stuff too. Yeah, I'm over bickering, but I want to know like what the truth is, And I see there's pictures coming out that there was people seen up there 7 minutes before. I don't know I don't know. All I know is that there's a man dead and there's 2 people in critical condition that just went there to have a good time. Because those Trump rallies are fun. There's a lot of energy. I don't know about now because MAGA has gotten a little different, I think, like a little more extreme since Trump first ran. Like I went to his first rally in Birch Run, Michigan before the primaries. So it was a lot different, everybody was looking for a change, and it was a different vibe. It was before that January 6th movement thing and all that weird stuff that happened. I need a roly-poly for that. Welcome in, Sirius, and everybody else who's just joining. Welcome in, welcome in. We're going to talk about Chris Watts. We're just kind of going over the shocking craziness that happened last night. Good morning, Alep. Some conspiracy theories say it was all scripted. Of course, we're going to have conspiracy theories out the yin yang, right? So JFK part 2. So what's Donald J. Trump? DJT instead of JFK. DJT. He used to go to Birch Run Outlet Mall. Yeah, that's where he held his first rally. And I'll never forget, we pulled into the parking lot, and there was like this driveway to pull in. And it was, at that time, it was all Mexican people with Mexican flags protesting against him being there. And then yesterday he's talking about immigration. It was weird. Good morning, Stephanie. Good morning, Med Gas Guy and Lindy. He's coming to your city, Sherry? Well, everybody take cover. Shit. The pallet. Why do we care if he's having a hard time in prison? No one said we cared. We're just reporting on what's going on with him. Because when I pick up a case and I get that involved in it, I follow it through. So if there's anything that comes up in the news on Chris Watts, I report it, whether you care or not. I guess if you don't care, I don't know why you're here. But personally, I want to know. I'm not saying I believe it all, but I want to know. Good morning. Say what? Good morning, Jamie. And RIP to Shannon Doherty. Shannon Doherty passed away from cancer. She fought a long, hard battle. She was one of my favorite one of my characters in my favorite shows, 90210. So rest in peace, Shannon Doherty. Brenda Walsh. Shane Culkin. Hello, Mr. Shane.
Guys, I'm eating junk and watching rubbish. You better come out and stop me.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
Keep the change, you filthy animal, Shane Culkin. Good morning. Last night was insane. If you dislike Trump, that's no reason for what happened. Yeah, this really isn't a time to argue about whether you like Trump or not. I mean, we don't want to see people get shot, right? I don't like Biden, but I don't want to see him get shot. Shit. That's weird to wish that on somebody. Yeah, I just read it this morning. So we've got a few things to go through this morning. Put on your Watts hats. Good morning, Cheryl. Good morning, Shell. My Watts OGs. My Watts OGs. September didn't sleep last night. How come, hon? Just upset over everything? Just a lot on your mind? Dylan T says hi to everyone. Well, hello, Mr. Tallman. Hello, Mr. Tallman. I love you, Mama. I love you, puppies. Mr. Tallman's book we read in a members only live. And after this stream is over, I'm going to open that up to the public for the first round of Dylan Tallman's book, The Cell Next Door. So we read that through. I forgot all about it. We did it like 2 weeks ago, or it seems like. I'm going to open that up to the public so you guys get to hear me read that book to you. Everything's Chris Watts' fault. Remember that? Back then we were like, just blame Chris Watts. I know I haven't been feeling good the past couple days. So thank you for bearing with me and being patient on this stream. I know you guys have been waiting for the Watts stuff. So the first thing that I wanted to show you guys is I have to retract because it seems that the Millers had an offer on their house that fell through. So when I made this stream last week, there was a pending offer on the Watts house, but now it seems it's back on the market with a price cut again. So I think what's happening here is the Millers are getting divorced after their domestic, which I'm going to tell you about that in a second. Plunder got the reports and went through them, and I listened to it last night, so we're just going to try to reiterate what I remember. And we'll talk through the history of the house in a sec. Just let me get this up here. Okay. So the history of the house is this. Chris and Shanann had the house built. They moved in. What happened, happened. They moved out. The house sat in Chris Watts' name for a good while after he went to prison. And then he signed the house over to Mr. and Mrs. Rusek, Shanann's parents. And then the house went on the market. And when the house went on the market, first it was like in foreclosure. Then it finally went on the market, and the Millers buy it. And Mr. and Mrs. Miller have 3 kids. They post on Facebook. The Mrs. Miller is super proud, almost obsessive, like with Shanann. She had been posting in the Watts groups and things, the wife of who bought this house. So she's on Facebook and she's all proud that they bought this house. They post a picture of the family in the kitchen with the kids like sitting on the island in Shanann's kitchen and like, oh, we're so happy to make this a home, blah, blah, blah. Well, what happened on Super Bowl Sunday was that Justin Miller and his wife had people over for Super Bowl Sunday. And they were drinking, and the kids were all there. And Shanann, oh my God, I can't believe I just said Shanann. Fuck. Mrs. Miller and her friend were upstairs in the loft area, the loft area where the couch was. They were up there playing video games, and Mr. Miller, Justin, was watching on surveillance camera that was in the loft, and he witnessed his wife kiss her friend. Can't make it up. Can't make it up.
I want this to be crystal clear.
So Justin goes upstairs. Hi, Patrick. And hi, Annie. Hi, Annie. Banani. So Justin goes upstairs and confronts said woman, her name is Bonnie, for kissing his wife. He accuses his wife of cheating on him with her, right? This is all in the police reports. You can hear all the details on Plunder. I'm just reiterating what I heard. Crystal, she was all up in all the Facebook groups, all the Watts groups. It was wild. And then in the picture in the kitchen, she has like an off-the-shoulder shirt, like Shanann style. It was weird. Yes, it gives me the chills. Like, he was watching her on the camera, and then he went up there. So he goes up there, confronts her, because she and her friend kissed. So the wife, I can't remember her name. We'll just call her Mrs. Miller. Mrs. Miller and her friend Bonnie kissed. So Justin goes upstairs and is going off, and he knocks the wine glass out of his wife's hand. The glass breaks, and there's glass everywhere and wine everywhere. Then the cops get called, whatever. And Justin, so I guess what he ends up saying is that he saw them kiss. He went up there to confront them. He knocked the wine glass out of his wife's hand. But he says the kids weren't around, so he was arguing about what he was being arrested for. It sounds like the body cam would be quite interesting. So then they get a hold of Bonnie, who Bonnie refused to give the cops her address. Right, Robin? He obviously suspected she was up to something. Yeah, this is weird, man. Weird. So then Bonnie says that they were playing video games and she went to kiss her friend Mrs. Smith on the cheek, and Mrs. Smith turned her head towards her at the same time, and it ended up being a kiss on the lips. Both had spouses there that night. Can you imagine those cops walking in that house? Can you imagine the cops when they got the call to go to 2825 Saratoga Trail for a husband that was going crazy? Can you imagine? Crazy. So that's what happened with that. So he got kicked out of the house. Oh, there's more. Wait. So he was, he had to leave. So something else happened that he was upset because even when he wasn't there, he was still logging into the cameras. So he was complaining that she shut off or changed the password so he could no longer log into the cameras and see his kids. So he was watching his kids through the cameras. And they were like, no, dude, you've got a fucking restraining order. You got to stop. So she's got a restraining order on all this business. And now the house is up for sale. But what's crazy is on July 9th, they had an offer. And now it's been recanted, so it's on the market again. I know. Hey, Cindy Bobbitt.
John Wayne Bobbitt's penis.
Mm-hmm. That house, man. So he got arrested and all the whole bit. I can get the body camera footage. I submitted my thing to Weld County, but they want like $400 for it. I just don't know if it's worth it. Because they said it's because they have to redact so much because the kids were there. So there's a lot of like hours that has to be put into going through it all. He's possessed. He was drunk. So what the officer ended up doing a supplement the next day is one of the officer's body cam, he put the wrong camera on that day. He put on another officer's camera, so his camera wasn't working. But he wrote a supplement the next day, and he said that both of them were drunk. They both reeked of alcohol, and they were both slurring their words. I'm going to reach out to the docket and see if he wants. Yeah, I was going to do that. I'm going to message him today. Shane, it's so good to see you. I miss you so much. I wonder if she does thrive. Yeah, I don't know. I think they said that Mr. Miller was 6'2" and 300 pounds. So he's not a string bean, if you catch my drift. So we'll look into that. We'll see if we can't get, work something out with somebody and try to get that stuff. The kids were home, and then they also had other couples there with kids, I believe. So there were other witnesses. There were, I think, other children that witnessed. Do you guys think that the house is cursed? Let's do a poll. All right, get your votes in. Get your votes in. String bee. I know. I don't know where that came from. Bing bong. I don't know. I'm still on the fence about that soundbite. I might have to retire that thing. I know. Makeout sessions and the whole bit. Like, what? Oh, Shaney. Please text me, Shane, so we can chit-chat that way. Well, I love seeing your face. Thanks for coming in this morning. Sin speaks to me in emojis. Hi, Beck. Good to see you. Hi, Becky 11. That's my lucky number, 11. You're about 25 minutes from the house, Crimson. Interesting. Hey, Vestiges. Good to see you. Or as Granny would call you, Vestage. I know. While playing Call of Duty. Kiss me, kiss me. Okay, so let's get into this. This is when it was for sale. We'll go through it anyways. Watts, let's see. After nearly 3 months on the market, the Colorado property where Chris Watts, unalived his pregnant wife and young daughters, appears to have found a buyer. And this was on June 9th. According to property records, the Frederick, Colorado home has been pending since July 3rd. It was first put on the market in April for $775,000, followed by a price cut down to $750,000 at the end of April. Now remember, their domestic happened back in February. A second price cut in May was down to $749,500 when it entered into pending sale status. And there's Watts in the house. I think that's it for this one. Now let's go over here and look at the Saratoga. Now, if you look at this, it still says it's for sale. And then we'll look at the price change because they must have had the buyer back out. Fuck, maybe the buyer found out what happened in that house because they don't disclose that shit. Siobhan, thank you so much, hon. Siobhan, I appreciate you. Thank you for your super sticker. We got to get those goals up, guys. We got to get those goals up. Pump it up. Okay. So we have a price cut on 7-Eleven. See that? I'm going to sneeze. Phew! Oh, my allergies are killing me, guys. Excuse me. So it's down to $724,900. They've gone down even more. So if you go down here, we have pending sale. See that? And then they knocked it down $25,000. So for those that are looking for a beautiful home in Frederick, Colorado, the Watts house is back on the market for a whopping $724,900 if you would like to own this beautiful home. And then it says in the description that if you walk through, look, at the very bottom, where is it, of the description? Where's the description? It says, no photos or videos to be taken inside the home, please. Thank you guys for the bless yous. Gesundheit. But they do not say anything. Wow, this is a beautiful home. Nothing like this one for sale at this price in the area. Spacious open floor plan that features 5 beautiful bedrooms plus a loft area. A kissing, aka kissing booth, 4 full bathrooms, and a 3-car garage. Boasting over 6,000 total square foot. Gourmet kitchen features granite counters, center island gas cooktop, double ovens, and stainless steel appliances with cabinets put in by none other than Mr. Rusek. Primary suite with tray ceiling, 5-piece bath and walk-in closet. Main floor bedroom has a huge walk-in closet that giggles when you open the door and is located next to a full bath. Convenient upstairs laundry room with closet and folding table. And it still has Shanann's rug in there because Mrs. Miller left Shanann's laundry rug in there. So it comes with the same rug. Home is pre-wired for surround sound. New exterior paint. New roof in 2023. Enjoy those summer nights on the covered porch. Enjoy those summer nights on the covered porch where you can envision Shanann walking in her house for the last time pregnant. Or on the back deck where you can envision Nicole Kessinger hopping the fence to come have some booty time with Chris Watts. Some of the areas of the home have views of our lovely Colorado mountains. Wonderful pool community with parks, trails, and schools nearby. And lots of dumpsters. Close to all activities, shopping, and restaurants that the town of Frederick has to offer. Don't miss this one. Of course, I added some details in there.
Wake up.
Y'all think it's going to sell? You guys didn't like my presentation? You don't think I should be the realtor for the Watts house? Yes. He was watching. Yes, they had cameras and he was watching her in the loft. Craziness. But please, 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 when you walk through, do not take any photographs, please. So it's been on here for 94 days. 18,000 views. So that's that. Now let's get into Chris Watts. He's living in fear of his life. You think they'd hire me? You think they'd hire me to sell it? Sherry, thank you so much for your super sticker. I didn't see it. Thank you so much, Sherry, and thank you, Siobhan. Thank you, One-Eyed Flo, and thank you, Olive Juice. I missed all those. I was too busy doing my sales pitch. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. All right, so this is the next report. Chris Watts lives in fear of fellow inmates as he serves life sentence for murdering wife and children. Convicted murderer Chris Watts now fears for his life as he serves his life sentence behind bars. The 39-year-old was charged with the murders of his wife Shanann, 2 daughters, 4-year-old Bella, and it says Belle, shame on them, and 3-year-old Cece in 2018, with them initially being deemed missing persons. So this is a clip from Netflix where I guess Tammy Lee says he had hand signals. I don't remember this. Let's watch it.
While he was talking to Special Agent Coder, made a lot of movements towards his neck area.
Oh, I get it. Oh, she's saying he made a lot of movements toward his neck area while he was talking to Coder. Let's watch. I remember this being talked about, that he was like this. But so did NK. NK made neck gestures too. I can't. Okay, so here we go. Now living his life at the Dodge Correctional Institution in Waupun, Wisconsin, Watts believes he is in danger due to the heinous acts that landed him in prison. According to former inmate Eddie Neves, it isn't shocking that Watts fears for his life while in prison, as his case has put a target on his back, among others, in Dodge. A lot of guys would like to get their hands on him, said Neves. He told the New York Post he killed 2 little girls who didn't do nothing to deserve it. He's the lowest of the low at Dodge. A lot of people want to get their revenge for those girls. Neves continued. He's fucked in the head. When you're in prison with a lot of guys who did really bad things, but you're still considered the worst person there, you're just evil. The fear has reportedly resulted in Watts keeping to himself while in prison, spending most of his time alone reading the Bible, and penning sick letters that describe his crimes in detail. Aside of his pen pals from the outside world, Watts is isolated from others and often gets additional attention from guards due to his status with the prison. If the guards weren't always around, everyone would take a swing at him. Now we got Dylan Tallman being mentioned. Watts' former cellmate, Dylan Tallman, corroborates Neves' statements, though he possesses a slightly different perspective due to his closeness to the murderer. He's an outcast, Tallman admitted. When people found out that his victims were 2 little girls, they wanted to kill him. He had nowhere else to turn. I think I was his only friend. Tallman also added that while Watts recognizes he cannot change the past, he thought about his actions every day that they shared the same cell. Every day he thinks about what he did. He has photos of the girls and he prays for forgiveness every day. But he knows he can't undo what he did. So I know we heard a long time ago he's had pictures of the girls. I don't know about Shanann. I know he's had pictures of the girls. Hey, Rocco, child killers are protected custody, but inmates can still get to them. Well, the thing is, they wanted to kill him in Colorado. So he wouldn't have fared well in Colorado. So I believe he made the plea deal. This is just my opinion. I think he made the plea deal so that he wouldn't have to serve his time in Colorado. He agreed to the terms. I'm not saying he didn't do it, but I'm saying he agreed to the terms in exchange for safety. Dylan doesn't even know the Neves guy. Unbelievable.
Ooh-wee.
I know. That's why I take most of these articles as like satire, because I take it with a grain of salt. I just think it's just funny to talk about. So here's another article. This is from New York Post. It's basically the same info. Do you guys want to watch this? Do you guys want to watch Chris Watts' first court hearing? I don't think I ever paid much attention to this first court. I mean, I did, but I didn't. It's not long. Oh, this is just a minute-long video. Ooh, I've never seen this. Let me open it in Google so we can boost the audio. Give me a sec. Chris, why did you kill your wife and 2 children? Imagine if JLR was there. He would have been like, shame on you, Chris Watts. Shame on you. Those beautiful girls. Your beautiful wife. Shame on you. Okay. What the hell? That guy just take his freaking dentures out? What am I watching? The hell? Come on now. I just want to unmute this shit. Do you guys remember this clip? I do not remember it. Wait. Wait. You have a call. Wait, hold on. Jamie says, I have a call with the New York Post tomorrow about it, and Dylan is offering an actual interview. Cool. See if Dylan wants to interview on here. Okay, here we go.
Mr. Watts, why did you kill your wife and 2 children?
Mr. Watts, did you confess?
Why is it so low? What did that person say? The guy? Something about confess?
Mr. Watts, why did you kill your wife and 2 children?
Mr. Watts, did you confess?
Can you guys even hear that? It's really low. Going from Shanann and Nicole is like going from a Ferrari to the back of a bus. I agree. He's an idiot. He's an idiot.
Mr. Watts, why did you kill your wife and 2 children?
Mr. Watts, did you confess?
Oh, Mr. Watts, did you confess? That's what it was.
Mr. Watts, why did you kill your wife and 2 children?
Mr. Watts, did you confess?
Ma'am, there's no cameras in here. You need to turn that off.
Ooh.
Did you take a picture? Signs up there.
First degree murder, each a class 1 felony, and 3 counts of tampering with a deceased human body. Right now, charges have not been filed, so this.
You can't hear it all, or it's just low? Because it's really low on my end, too, and I've got it boosted a lot. Hang on.
This is a limited advisement. I intend to bring you back next week once formal charges are filed on Monday, so I can give you a full advisement. But I will tell you that at this point, we are in recess.
All right, let's watch the whole thing from the beginning. Now that I've got it louder, here you go.
Mr. Watts, why did you kill your wife and 2 children?
If you want it, you confess.
Ma'am, there's no cameras in here. You need to turn that off.
Oops.
Did you take a picture? First degree murder, each a class 1 felony, and 3 counts of tampering with a deceased human body. Right now, charges have not been filed, so this is a limited advisement. I intend to bring you back next week once formal charges are filed on Monday, so I can give you a full advisement. But I will tell you that at this point, we are in recess.
What was he thinking? Do you see him just sitting there? It's so wild, isn't it? Not one person heckling him on the way out. Not one person. He confessed to the kids when they went back out in February. His second confession. He confessed the first time. He said that Shanann had hurt the kids and he hurt her because she hurt the kids in his first confession. The second confession was actually in February of 2019 when the agents went back to visit him at Dodge because they were perplexed by what happened, in my opinion, and they wanted more details. This is the shooter over here, too, of Trump. So he did say he smothered the girls in the second confession. But he said he did it in the truck. That's the kid, bottom right-hand corner of your screen. That's the kid who shot at Trump and killed people at a rally. But when he's sitting there, like, in here.
Right now, charges have.
I just wonder what's going through his damn mind right here. I just wonder what is going through his mind.
Have not been filed, so this is a limited advisement. I intend to bring you back next week once formal charges are filed on Monday, so I can give you a full advisement. But I will tell you that at this point, we are in recess.
Creepy. Okay, so let's keep going. Chris Watts is in a hell of his own as he serves his life sentence at a small cell at Dodge in Waupun, Wisconsin. He hardly talks to anyone, instead choosing to read his Bible and to ponder the wife and 2 young daughters he ruthlessly murdered in 2018. The Post has spoken with 3 people who had contact with Chris behind bars, and they say he lives a sedentary lifestyle, has gained significant weight, and has lost most of his hair. So they're saying he hungry, he fat, he sits around, and he's balding. Put a 1 if you believe this. Put a 2 if you don't. Put a 3 if you really don't give a shit. 1, believe it. 2, you don't. 3, you don't give a shit. Ask if I think he's good looking. Do you find Chris attractive? Okay. I'll do it for you, Lindy. I'll do it for you, Lindy. So 70% of you think it's cursed or haunted. 1 in 3. I see a lot of 3s. You do believe it, though. A lot of you don't give a shit. But if you had to give a shit, would you believe it or not? Like, do you think it's just BS? What's more, the triple murderer often avoids eye contact with other inmates for his own safety. I believe that. When he attends Bible studies, he often keeps to himself and doesn't talk to new people. I think I believe that. I don't see Chris as being the outgoing type. I think he keeps his head down and to himself until he figures people out. I mean, I think that would be probably the smartest thing to do. A lot of guys would like to get their hands on him, said Eddie. This is the same info from the other article, except this is the original from the Post. And this is Dylan Tallman. Like I said, I read the first book that he's released called The Cell Next Door. He was friends with Chris. He's the one that they got in trouble because Chris bought him stuff at commissary, blah, blah, blah. After this live stream's over, I'm going to open that up to the public and you guys can listen. It's a narrated book by me. It says here, at times he would talk about the murders. This is from Sherilyn Cadle, and his eyes would turn so black. He would just get a different look on his face. He talked about it so nonchalantly, like going down to get a cup of coffee. He's fucked in the head, said Nevs. When you're in prison with a lot of guys who did really bad things, but you're still considered the worst person there, you're just evil. So basically the same information on that one. Now, whether or not you believe that he lives in fear, here's another article that just came out 24 hours ago. Let's see what this one says. I haven't even read it yet. I don't know why he's suddenly in the news, but okay. The blood boiling boast Chris Watts made in prison, and this is dated July 13th. Actually, it came out yesterday. I know, those poor girls. It's so sad. Let's see if this has anything new in it. According to criminal lawyer Norm Pattis, Chris Watts' religious transformation is not surprising. Murder is the ultimate taboo, he told A&E. When your community shuns you, the possibility of being open to grace, I suspect, is all that's left. Serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer was infamously baptized in prison. I did not know that. In many prisons, religious groups have a leader who represents them to staff and other inmates, and there is protection in numbers. But what did he boast? I think this was a clickbait article. Because there's nothing new in here. Clickbait, grunge. It says here, along with his apparent refusal to take responsibility for the horrific killings, Watts reportedly made a blood-boiling boast while behind bars to his mother, Cindy. This is old news. I'm still a dad. I'm still a son, no matter what. She said he wrote. Now, and that was in Killer Dad Chris Watts Speaks. What's that? Now I can add servant of God to that mix. He has shown me peace, love, and forgiveness. And that's how I live every day. That's his big boast. That was the whole reason. Oh, lies, crimes, and videos. I didn't know Watts was on the show. Let's see. Oh, we should watch this. It's currently unavailable on Prime. Killer Dad Chris Watts Speaks, September 6, 2023. I don't know if I remember that one. They turn to God because there's strength in numbers. Granny coming in with some truth. You know what? That's what I love about you is you.
God almighty.
I think at first we all kind of thought he was decent looking. I mean, that's why it was so damn hard to comprehend that he did it. Thank you, Shell, for your super chat. Shell says, I hope he's scared to close his eyes at night. I think, like the numbers, it's being a part of something, I guess. But if I can find this anywhere else, we can watch it in Discord, see what it is. All right. So the other thing I wanted to play for you guys. So isn't that crazy though about the wife kissing her friend upstairs in that loft and her husband watching on video, and then after Mr. Miller moved out of the house, he was still watching on the cameras. So if you're interested in seeing that body camera, let me know. Put a 1 in chat. Put a 1 in chat if you're interested in me trying to get that body camera. Okay, so I wanted to share with you guys this video from 2021. This is me. Oops, I didn't mean to move that there. Smoke them if you got them. I'm going to share my trip to the Watts house again. Maybe one day I'll make it out to Colorado again. I don't know. The Watts house is still for sale for anyone who is looking for a house in beautiful Frederick, Colorado. Whoops. Whoops. Jay-isms. Here we go.
Trail of a party who's checking on a friend who's pregnant, who's not answering the door.
Pregnancy, like she was so excited and then got blindsided from her husband that he wanted to separate a week ago.
And her husband's name is Chris?
Yes, his name is Chris Watts.
Hi, and welcome to J is for Justice. If you like what you see, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and also give this video a thumbs up.
How to express heartfelt communication to your mate. I was like, what? I was like, why is that book there? Oh, Seeking the Truth. What? Oh, Lord. Hold on. Granny, I have never talked about that publicly, but I would love to talk about that publicly. Seeking the Truth with freaking Dave manipulated the hell out of the Watts. And I don't know if they see it yet or not, but he is the lowest of the low. Going to the gravesite in Chris's jersey. Sick. Just sick.
Hey, Nate.
So, yeah, I'm looking at this book. I'm like, holy shit, why would that book still be there? Like, why wouldn't they get rid of that? Like, that's just creepy. You know, you have a domestic where the husband, like, unalives his family. And then you still have a love language book sitting there. It was weird to me. Because I was already like, do-do, 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 do-do. You know, and then all of a sudden here comes Nate out of nowhere, like, hey, can I help you with something? I was like, whoa. It was already like I was on edge. You know what I mean?
What? Hey, Nate. How you doing, Nate? Nice to meet you. No, we're out here actually with Mr. Watts.
With who?
With who?
Yeah, we'll just be here a few minutes. Hi, how you doing?
That was quite the experience. This is sad. Y'all, this part makes me sad. Ugh, I hate it. I was so sad that their stuff was there. And I could see like their stuff that they played with. And then I'm thinking of all these photos. Ugh. This was in 2021. Nate is the neighbor. Actually, Nate is the one that kind of outed Chris with the footage of him loading his truck. Did you see their little water table? Like, this shit made me so freaking sad. Like, this honestly made the case like on a different level of realness. Yeah, his dad was out in Colorado. Nate was really nice. He's traumatized. I mean, he told me, we talked after we did the walk around, he was getting ready to leave. We talked briefly and he just said he's moved out because he wants to get away from it. I mean, can you imagine living there? I mean, in all reality, guys, I mean, imagine being him and living there, and you used to see these babies out in this yard playing with their mom and their dad, and you saw their dad mowing grass in this happy little family, and then you broke the case open with your surveillance footage of the man loading his family up in the truck. The toy shovel, I know, it made me so freaking sad. It kills me, those girls. Kills me. And then, you know, imagine being there after, and then you look out. You can't. You can't. So he moved out, and now his mom stays there, but I don't know if she still does. Like I said, this was 2021. Like, how dare he? like seeing little Bella in that door. Oh. And I think about like little Dieter running across the kitchen floor like craziness. This would be why I couldn't live next door. Ugh. I'm up in my feels, guys. I'm like tearing up over here. Christ. Who's with me? Who's with me crying? Fuck. That area right there was where the book was. The book was sitting on whatever that little thing is right there under the window. And then up above, you see the screenshot of the body cam. And that's where their little love corner was. Thank you so much, Lindy. I appreciate you. Thanks for all you do, Jay. There with Mr. Watts. I know, I kind of threw him off. I didn't really know what to say because at the time, in my defense, the house was in Chris's name. So we did like have permission to go there. And it was funny, not funny, but you know what I mean, that when we went there, Mr. Watts didn't want to go. Ronnie didn't want to go to the house because it was too hard for him. He had never been there. I'm sure he does, Jamie. I am sure he does. I would love to read it and interpret it myself. Be so interesting. I don't know where the book came from, but so he asked me to check. That's what I was going to tell you. He asked, Chris had mentioned like in the sprinkler systems, like in the ground, and you lift up like this thing and all the controls for the sprinklers are on there. And Chris told him to check that. So he asked me to look in there, and I looked, and there was nothing in there. Yeah. No, I don't know whose book that was. I still don't know because the one that Shanann bought him, he threw away, remember? Hundreds of pages. Wow. Does anybody think that he'll tell the 100% truth? That's a good question. So 78% of you would not live in the Watts house. Yeah, I think the one that she bought, though, he threw away. They found it in the trash. So when we're talking about people who take advantage of victims, so I know a lot of you don't like the Watts family, and you're entitled to that decision based on, what you've seen and what you've heard. Did they handle it correctly? Probably not. But is there a manual? I mean, it's talking about giving grace to people who weren't there. I don't know how I could ever accept that. It would be very hard, I think, being a grandma. And I'm just thinking, you guys can let me know what you think. Let me get this poll up first. His mom's still waiting for the truth, and I think she'll be waiting forever. I don't think he'll ever come clean. Yeah, it was actually 6 a.m, but yeah. I think she was involved, and I think that she was supposed to, this is my opinion, I think she was supposed to be the, star witness, and then he ended up confessing, and they didn't need her. And they gave her protection like they would any witness. Just because she didn't have to testify doesn't change that. You know what I mean? If they were going to use her as a witness, if it went to trial, she wouldn't have gotten in trouble. So she's not in trouble now. Do you get what I'm saying? If the outcome would have been the same if they went to trial, that she would have got a new identity and protection, she got what she was going to get anyways. Cookie, I don't know if we have proof of that, her giving them nuts. I don't think that's true. I think everything was blown out of proportion. But let's talk about that. I think there's a lot of dysfunction in the Watts family. And I think that because of that, which every family has dysfunction, but I think their particular dysfunction keeps them in denial. And I don't know if I would be able to accept that my son did that. Now, I don't know if I could blame my daughter-in-law, but it's a mess. It's a mess. And I don't ever want to be in their position. That's all I want to say. It's easy to judge them. It is not easy being in their shoes. Trust me. I've seen Mrs. Watts deteriorate. So for all of y'all that don't like her, she ain't doing good. I mean, and if that makes you feel better, I think you need to seek out peace, because that shouldn't make you feel good. It wasn't even about nuts. It was that it's not even the story, but whatever. I'm not going to argue about it, but I just feel like it's scary. It is, Granny. What's crazy is not one single person came forward knowing her or speaking out on her then or now. Well, I think that her friend Charlotte kind of, I mean, no one wants to talk about this. Yeah. The whole thing is complicated. And I just I can't pass judgment. After meeting Mr. Watts, he actually, dude, they're good people. They would never want that to happen. They're good. They're not bad people. They didn't want that to happen. I don't know who Junko Furuta is. Here, let's finish this. It's only got a couple seconds left. There's the love corner. Thank you for watching that. Don't sugarcoat it. I'm not sugarcoating it. That's what I said, sunshine country chickens. She didn't go to the wedding. Yeah, there was a lot of dysfunction and there were a lot of problems. But don't you see that a lot of families have dysfunction and a lot of problems? They don't expect a tragedy to hit. Dude, I mean, the only thing I can hope is that they have some hindsight. And I haven't seen that yet. I haven't seen it. So I don't know. Yeah, a lot of mother-in-laws and daughter-in-laws don't get along. Cindy had reasons and didn't pretend after Shanann's death, so that became the major acts against her. Well, I'm going to tell you something. The worst thing that happened, let me tell you why that happened. Okay. Are they still close with Dave, Jamie? Because they don't talk to me much anymore. Probably because of him. He has so taken advantage of them and made them look so much worse than they ever could have. I don't know if he's around. I forgot what I was going to say. Because of his dad, he confessed. I don't know if he would have otherwise. Yeah, the love corner. That's where Chris had a bed down there. No, they didn't like her. And I'm sure there's things they wish they would have done different. I can't speak for them. Siobhan, I agree. I just wish that instead of, the animosity, I wish that things would have gone different. But I'm going to tell you how Cindy Watts got put in that light. I'm going to tell you. And I'm going to tell you names right now. So this is what happened. And this is what people do. When this tragedy happened, there were people on Facebook who reached out to Cindy in the very beginning, like when that shit was raw. When that shit was raw. And they were in her ear. Kim Kaufman, you know who you are. In her ear. In her ear, in her ear. Talked her into doing that interview, which was the straw that broke the camel's back. At that point, everybody hated him. Cindy told me she was hiding in a closet when that reporter was knocking on the door. That's how bad she didn't want to do it. And then she told the truth, and she was crucified for it. It was done. She was hated from that point on. So pat yourself on the back, Kim Kaufman. You managed to fuck with victims of a crime and change the trajectory from, what, month one? From month one. Shame on you. No one should get involved with these people to that degree. It's sick. Hello, Northern Beans. She posted so much because that was her job. It was her job. Yeah, she was poison. And then she created a YouTube channel and spread all this bullshit. But she was in Cindy Watts' ear from the word jump. And Cindy, you know what Cindy thought after like a year? That they were friends. She's not bad as Roberta.
Roberta.
No. No one's as bad as Roberta. Now, if they would have like covered for Chris. It's just awful to do that. And I don't even think Shanann was a narcissist at all. I think if anything, there was more going on with Chris. I think that you guys don't understand. I think he was kind of from the old school way of thinking, like womanizer type thinking. Because when he's asked what he missed about Shanann, he said her fucking cooking. Now stop it. That says a lot to me. Oh, she was terrible. She was terrible. Stephen Stern's mom is kind of on the...
Roberta.
Yeah. She's gone now, Juicer, but she was around in the beginning of the Watts case. And I'm just here to tell you, she's the one that got into Cindy's ear. She called that reporter. She had them come to the Watts house to do that interview, and Cindy was reluctant. She was hiding in an effing closet. No, I think Chris had his own things going on. I don't know why everybody wants to excuse him and put all the blame on her. He missed her cooking. I mean, what do you think he was telling NK? If he's telling agents after he killed his wife, what do you miss about her? I miss her cooking. What do you think he told NK while she was still alive and he wanted to get away and have his little love fest? I'm sure he said some not so nice things. Because if he thinks saying that afterwards sounds good, he's delusional. And it says a lot to me about his way of thinking. I miss her spaghetti. She could have. She was in a bad spot, SU. I don't know what else to say. I'm just telling you what I know. I think he was very sneaky, too. 2018, more like it, Colleen. 2018. She stepped in like September 2018. Mm-hmm. And then she went on, made a YouTube. No, that's not me, Queen bitch. Here, we'll allow this. Guess what? No, don't delete it. Queen bit can, whatever your fucking name is. I remember you blaming Shanann. You even said she was a bitch. Your voice saying that on the Netflix documentary. No, that wasn't me. That was Critical K on the Netflix documentary. You must have me mistaken. I'm on ID channel and Dateline. I read the first article being or the first book. And I'm gonna make it open right after this ends. Lindy, you think Jamie or his mom gave him the oxy? Oops. I don't know. I don't know anything about that. Like, I never asked about that stuff. I wish we would have had a trial so we could have seen everything. But if you think about it, like NK being hidden, she would have been hidden if she testified after it was all said and done. Yeah, I'm not on any documentary calling any victim a bitch. I can tell you that right now. But go ahead. Queen Bit can suck it with your bruises. Is it Bruce Jenner or are they bruises? Because you said Bruce. Bruce! What was I just going to pull up? No, I forgot. He said he'll take it to the grave. Oh, the book. That's right. I'm going to give you guys the link. Hey, how about Dylan sends me a copy of part 2 and I'll bring him on to promote it after I read it. Jamie, are you like his agent? Let's make a deal. If he sends me a copy of part 2, I'll read it and then I'll bring him on to promote it. That sounds like a good deal. No, I'm just kidding. I'll buy it and then I'll bring him up anyways if he wants to come up. He can talk about his time in prison and what he's going to put in part 3. There's going to be a part 3, correct? Correct? Let us know, Jamie. Let's see, where is that? I'm going to get you guys that link. You can listen to it. It's about an hour long. I read the book in an hour, so it's nothing crazy. Nothing crazy at all. Here's the link. Cato's book. I never read it. Okay, Jamie, please email me. The J is for justice at gmail.com. Please. Bruce. Said she had bruises. Lindy, thank you again for your support. Shell, Olive, One-Eyed Flo, Sherry, thank you for becoming a member. Plummy, Annie, B in Florida, Kelly Mack. These are from yesterday, but thank you so much, guys, for your support. That is a wrap, guys. This is our Watts update. I will work on that body cam, and I will see you tomorrow on Monday Live. We've got some updates on Bryson Muir and that cult. I've got some updates on that. Daniel Muir and his wife are out of jail. So what's going to happen next? I've got some other updates as well. We'll be talking about this Trump thing, what's new on that, and anything else that comes up in the meantime. I'll see you guys in Monday Live tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I may go live later on my other channel, so make sure you are subscribed to that. Because I've got some things to talk about. So make sure you're subscribed over there. It's early still, so probably later I'll go on there and we're going to chat about some things that are going down on the tubes. You can talk about it, do a Q&A. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. So go listen to the book. Here's the link again. Enjoy. And let's roll our credits and then we'll dance it out. Bye, everyone. Thanks for being here. Thank you, Patrick and Siobhan, for being here. All the moderators, thank you so much for everything you do. You guys are awesome. Have a great day. Enjoy your Sunday. Here we go. Credits for Myron. Good for you, Colleen. Good for you. We'll talk about that shit later. Bye, guys. So much for watching. If you enjoyed this live stream or video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on my latest content. Want to take it a step further?
Bring it all in.
And join our community clickers by becoming a Patreon or a YouTube member. You'll get exclusive access to our Discord server, special channel perks, and much more. Until then, I'll see you in the next one.
Click. It's real easy, man.
I don't give a damn. I don't really care about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. You talk way too much. I have heard enough about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. 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 You wanna be